these problems, we're going to be doing the same formulas that I said were going to be super important. So I'm going to label this picture like we labeled that one, with A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm going to rewrite our formulas here so we have them to reference. C was the square root of AB. D was the square root of A plus B times B. So then looking at our first example, we're given LM. Which letter is LM in the picture? C. And we're given MK. Which letter is MK? B. And we're given JM. Which letter is JM? A. So we're given information about B and C and asked to find A. Which formula uses A, B, and C?
How do you know which one is angle 4?
It's not an angle, it's LM.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah, my L's kind of look like angle symbols. But LM from the picture is C. So which formula uses A, B, and C? The first one is the only one that has C in it, so that means the first formula is going to be the one that we want to use for this problem. So that C is equal to the square root of AB is the formula we're going to use. Then we're going to plug in what we know. We know C is 4. We don't know what A is. And B is 8. That A is trapped underneath a square root. How do I undo a square root? What's the opposite of a square root? What's the opposite of a square root? How do I undo a square root? Multiplying by itself, which is known as, what do we call it when we multiply something by itself? Squaring it.
Oh.
Multiplying something by itself is squaring it. So what we're going to do is square both sides. Squaring undoes square roots. Just like adding undoes subtracting, or multiplying undoes dividing. Squaring undoes the square root. What is 4 squared? 16. When we square a square root, it disappears to give us what was underneath. How do I get A alone now?
Divide 16 divided by 8.
Divide by 8 on both sides, and I get 2 is equal to A. In the next example, JM is what letter in the picture?
A.
MK is?
B.
And LJ is? D. So I have A and B. I want to know about letter D. Which formula should I use? The D equals 1 because that's what we're talking about. A plus B times A. So now we'll plug in what we know. We do not know D. We know A is 3, B is 9, A is 3. So now we have some arithmetic we can do here. What is 9 plus 3?
12.
12. What is 12 times 3?
36.
36. And what's the square root of 36? 6. So our answer for that one is 6. So let's see, on the first one we got 2. And then on this one we got 6. For the third one, JL is 9. What's JL in the picture? D. What's JM in the picture? A. And what's MK in the picture? B. So D, A, and B. So we're going to use the same formula we did last time. I have to erase some of the work to make more room here. So we're going to use that same formula. D is equal to the square root of A plus B. Plugging in what we know. This time we know D is 9. We know A is 6. But we don't know B. So what we want to find is trapped underneath a square root. How do I say we undo that square root? Squaring it. So we're going to square both sides. What is 9 squared? 81. When you square a square root, it goes away and leaves you with just what was underneath. 6 plus b times 6. What do I do next to solve this problem? Distribute it. So we're going to distribute that 6 in. So that gives 36 plus 6b. Then what? Subtract 36. That gives 45 is 6b.
Divide by 6.
Divide by 6. We're running out of room here. 45 divided by 6 is 7.5. Decimals are okay for answers if they are clean decimals. But if they're long and ugly and you would have to cut them off, you don't want that. Leave it as a fraction or a square root or whatever kind of number it was before you did whatever you did to get that ugly number. We don't want ugly answers, but 7.5 is okay. That's a nice clean number. And our last problem, LK in the picture is what letter? LK is E. MK is B, and JM is A. So E, A, and B means we need to use that last formula. E is the square root of A plus B times B. Plug in what we know. 7 equals the square root of, we don't know A, plus B is 6. B is 6. The arithmetic to solve this equation, or the algebra to solve this equation, is exactly like the last one. So I want you to practice this one, kind of using that last one as a model for you. So we're going to begin by doing what? Getting rid of the square root by squaring both sides. 7 squared is 49. Then a square cancels a square root to leave just what was underneath. A plus 6 times 6. Then what?
Oh, we have to
Distribute the 6. So 49 is equal to 6a plus 36. Subtract the 36. So I get 13 equals 6a. Divide by 6. 13 divided by 6 is not pretty, so just leave it. Oops, I hit the wrong button. So that answer to that one was 13 over 6. Okay. Your homework for tonight is a little bit different than what's printed because you already did some of this. Last night you did 1 through 13. That means you don't need to redo those unless you're choosing to redo that assignment. So that means that this first part is going to change to being just 18 and 21, and the rest of the assignment will be as printed. Because you already did up through number 15, and since we're going with multiples of 3, the next multiple of 3 would be 18. So that first part turns into just 18 and 21, and then the rest of it remains the same.